5 Browns on the roster bubble. Again, this is another article that you wrote. Take us through, we'll give you the names. So Jakeem Grant, the wide receiver and kick returner. Nick Harris, center, has played a couple of snaps at guard. Anthony Schwartz, wide receiver. A.J. Green, cornerback. And Tony Fields, linebacker. So some of those guys are draft picks of Andrew Berry, which he's been very hesitant to cut. I get that. If you draft a guy, you want to give him every opportunity to develop. Who of this do you think makes sense to potentially make the team, either of those 5?
A.J. Green makes sense just because he's been in the secondary, been solid when called upon, except, last year he took a slight step back, but he's always provided good depth. I think Tony Fields is in the mix at linebacker to make the team. It is a crowded room, so it'll be interesting to see what he puts on tape during the preseason. Nick Harris, he still could make the team. I mean, Luke Whippler was a 7th-round pick. He's not an automatic lock, even though he was a draft pick, much like Harris, but he could still make it. He can beat out Whippler in camp and in the preseason. And then Jakeem Grant makes more sense to make the roster at wide receiver than Anthony Schwartz, both returning from injuries. Schwartz just got back on the practice field today, and I just don't see a clear path for him. But Jakeem Grant can be that guy that fills the Marquise Goodwin void in terms of speed and, being that situational gadget type guy. He showed it in Chicago and in Miami. But, there's 4 out of the 5 that could make the roster. And Anthony Schwartz is still the odd man out, unfortunately. And I was very high on him coming out of Auburn in 2021, but he just can't seem to form any sort of consistency. It's been more inconsistency than anything with Schwartz.
Yeah, Grant makes a lot of sense to me because of his return. Remember, he's an all-pro punt returner. And again, he's at the age where coming back from the Achilles injury, if he's back all the way, he kind of solves some problems on special teams.
Yeah, he definitely does. I mean, kick returns, the rules changes, so that kind of wipes it out. But you're right. He does have all-pro abilities in the punt return game. I know Donovan Peoples-Jones was still getting the first-team reps there during the early portion of camp. We don't know how Grant is physically. Obviously, Grant Delpit didn't get back to full strength until last year after he suffered his Achilles injury, his rookie season. But Grant's 30 years old, like you said. And he also took a pay cut to stay with the team, and he has no guaranteed money. So he's not safe, but with the special teams ability, you would have to think if he shows anything in preseason, Bubba Ventrone might pound the table to say, we have to find a way to keep him on the roster.